Hey, welcome back. Hope everybody is having a great Saturday, and thank you so much for joining me talking all things Masters of the Universe. Today, as you guys can see, we're going to be revisiting and relooking at the very first, I believe it's the very first versions of He-Man, and Skeletor in the new Eternia line. At least I think the start of the new Eternia line that, of course, has been an amazing brand to collect for MasterVerse because for pretty much it's now for the most part all new Eternia figures coming out for MasterVerse. But I do believe He-Man here and Skeletor were the very first to come out on this line here, and we'll take a look at them each figure out of the packaging right here and in the packaging as well, the artwork, and have a lot of fun. Now, if you are new to my channel or first time watching, I hope you will subscribe afterwards. I hope you'll hit that like button, and thank you for doing that. Hit that notification bell when you upload new videos, and please share this video who has a passion and a love for collecting all things Masters of the Universe. Without further ado, let's take a look at new Eternia He-Man and new Eternia Skeletor. All right. Now, before that, I'm going to give you, I did pick up some new vintage figures for my collection. All right. Very quickly, I'm going to go over them. All right. And a couple of figures that I was able to get some parts to fix up somewhat. Okay. Now, the new figures I have in my vintage collection, really quick, guys, is Ram Man here. All right. He works for a point. He does. He's got that little button in the back right there. But, but very cool. I love it. This little version of Ram Man here. All right. And my second new figure I have in my vintage collection is Clawful here. Very cool. I love it. Now, the armor itself is not vintage. I will say that. It's part of the Origins line. The Clawful did not have armor or the weapon of choice, his green club. But other than that, he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. There you go. Now, the figures I was able to improve on, of course, Strido here. He was missing an arm, so now I have a full-on Strido here with a full arm. All right. I have a better version of Triclops. My version I had originally, the legs were broken, and so these are a little bit better. All right, and the eye can swivel a little bit better as well. The armor is from the old version, but amazing. All right, and finally, I have a fully complete version of Mechanic. The armor was missing from mine, so I was able to track down one. Right. And also, I picked up this little cool, like, paperclip version of He-Man here. A little fun little paperclip here. So cool, so cool. I'm going to share that with you guys. I've been really enjoying collecting these vintage figures to add around my vintage Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So cool. All right. Now on to the video, guys, okay? Of course, let's take a look. I'll turn the turntable on here, so while these figures are spinning around. But I will say before we get into the review, or at least during the review, I didn't think, that the new Eternia line would, explode like it has for us, for us collectors in MasterVerse. Sorry about that, everybody. If you hear there's a train going through my area right now, so the horn is going off pretty quick, a lot. So I do apologize if you do hear a horn through the video here. It's just a train going through. But back to what I was saying about new Eternia. I didn't expect this line, new Eternia, to explode like it has for us collectors. But boy, was I wrong. I mean, this line has given us new life, at least for me. This is my point of view. It's given us a new, look on these amazing figures, especially with He-Man and Skeletor here. And of course, like I said, the new Eternia line has become the dominant brand for MasterVerse for us collectors. I think, and I was originally going to do like my top 5, new Eternia figures in MasterVerse, and I will probably do that at some point this week. Give you my top 5 or top 10 favorite new Eternia figures that have come out in MasterVerse, minus, of course, King Randor, Roboto, and Beastman. But, am I wrong? Let me know, guys. What do you think about the new Eternia line as a whole? I mean, have you really been, as collectors, have you really been enjoying collecting this line here? Like I said, an amazing line. I'm going to turn my turntable on here so you can see the figures. And we'll look at He-Man first, heroes first. All right. Of course, you have the old school packaging right here. Like I said, I do believe this was the very first figures that the MasterVerse line gave us in the new Eternia brand. He-Man and Skeletor, and I think there's Beast-Man as well from the Target exclusive. But, of course, you have the 30 points of articulation, the MasterVerse logo here, the beautiful big giant window box right here. Comes with a power sword, his battle axe, a dagger, an extra face sculpt right there, a very good face sculpt. All right, a couple extra pairs of hands. You got the MasterVerse logo and new Eternia He-Man. And I do believe that trgtoys.com has him available. And eventually, guys, I'm going to do a revisit at that store and focus mostly, for the most part, of all his Masters of the Universe figures, MasterVerse and Origins figures that he has in his store. All right, to give you a better understanding and look at all the different versions of MasterVerse and Cartoon Collection, Turtles of Grayskull, vintage Origins figures he has. All right, but let's take a look right here, the side right here, this gorgeous artwork right here for He-Man. Some great backdrop here. Beautiful artwork here. Got some, look like some different Shadow Beast right here. That because, speaking of armory building, and thank you. Somebody mentioned Necroconda as another great army builder. Yes, I totally forgot about the Necroconda figure. Amazing. What about Shadow Beasts as possible, Origins-based, army building figures? I think that would be kind of cool. Getting some Shadow and MasterVerse too. Don't forget, those were heavily shown in Revelation and Revolution cartoon. So getting some Shadow Beast in the Masters line would be kind of cool. All right. Of course, you just have He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, right there. Very cool. All right. Of course, there he is. As we have a little rotation of the figure here. I think, and I believe, don't get me wrong, I think this was the very first time getting He-Man and Skeletor in this new look. I think. I don't think they were a part of the classics line. If I'm wrong, I couldn't track it down in the book. So let me know if this was the first time ever, because with New Eternia, it's of course concept that was left on the drawing board floor that's now become figure form for us collectors. All right, with different takes. But let me know if was there a version of He-Man and Skeletor that were like this from classics. I never collected classics, and I'm kicking myself for not doing that. So if you are a big classics collector, let me know if there were versions of He-Man and Skeletor that resemble this or in a way like this. All right, but very cool. The detail is amazing. New Eternia nailed it. With these new variants of He-Man, Skeletor, and going forward, it has given us so many amazing figures in the new Eternia line. And like I said before, if the new Eternia line was not a part of the Masters line, if they didn't come up with this this new brand for us collectors, I really believe, this is my opinion, that this line, and I've said it before, that this line would have been done with MasterVerse. I mean, the Revelation line was hit and miss. Revolution seems to be dead now. But there's still figures out there from Revolution, that we haven't gotten yet. I'm kind of curious about that. The movie versions are good for what they are, but, they're very limited, and who knows where we get more of those figures. We still have Princess of Power and Sunman. We had Pighead and Sunman, and that's done. New Adventures is kind of much done now as well, or, in a way. I mean, I'm not saying it's completely done, but the new Eternia line seems like for the most part, and I think you can agree with me, it's become the overall dominant brand for MasterVerse, and rightfully so. Until something else comes out to bump it off, but I don't think that's ever going to happen personally. All right, now let's look at Skeletor right here as we're talking. So here's Skeletor right here. Getting closer here. Of course, you got that same style packaging here, the old school packaging, a big window box. Once again, you got the 30 points of articulation, MasterVerse. There he is, right there, old bonehead right there with the goatee, with of course, he's got his Havoc staff right here. This very cool sword, and I can't remember who had the sword here. Oh man, from MasterVerse. We just looked at that figure too. Um, Now this version of Skeletor, now the armor wise, okay, is very similar in a way to his Bone Throne version right here. I got it right here. It's very similar. Now the Bone Throne has more detail in the armor with the gold right there and the back metal armor, but for the most part, as you can see, it's almost identical in a way. And a very good head sculpt. I remember when this came out, a lot of people were using this head sculpt to, I think, take off the, I think one of the versions of Skeletor, I think maybe the Wave 1 version of Skeletor was really bad. And I would say like Masters has come a long way as far as their figures and looks, because I remember their Wave 1 figures were really bad to me. Don't get me wrong, they're cool for what they were, but they had really small head sculpts for some reason with those figures. But of course, you have the Master Universe logo, New Eternia, Skeletor, right there. A gorgeous glamour shot right there. Look at that. I love the looks like the Havoc staff, like magic, the Havoc magic goatee right there. Beautiful. Oh, so cool. All right, the back right here. All right, looking good. A little bio, or of course, Skeletor, the evil Lord of Destruction, right there. And the cross-o. All right, Skeletor. All right, back around. All right. Of course, Skeletor, I did not mention. You know, for the most part, another thing about Masters I like, too, is the soft good, clothing and, capes and, and cloaks and stuff like that. And, of course, he has a beautiful cloak, or, I'm sorry, cape. Fully, looks like he's, stuck here. Hang on. Okay. Beautiful. Oops. Beautiful soft good cape here. Great face sculpt. They've absolutely... Oops. That's all right. Oops. You can see the armor can be removed very easily. I did not tend to do that, guys, but you can remove the armor here to give you more of that old school vibe of Skeletor here. Now the helmet here cannot be removed, and so the one for He-Man, of course, cannot be removed here. But two amazing versions of He-Man and Skeletor. Incredible. Really cool. Amazing. So let me know, guys, your thoughts and feelings of the new Eternia line figures. And like I said, I will eventually. At some point this week, I feel like doing a top 5 or top 10, favorite new Eternia figures that has come out so far in the MasterVerse line, all right? All right, but if you want a much closer look at He-Man here, sort of power in the background here. Got his giant battle axe here, kind of reminds me of the battle axe too. I get a lot of that old school vibe for He-Man here with the battle axe here. The dagger can be removed. You can remove the dagger right there. Places right there. Got the beautiful gold armor here. Got some gauntlets right here. Very cool. Let's get Skeletor up here close here. There he is. Of course, when I display my figures here, I like the new head sculpts with He-Man and Skeletor with these two figures here. They look really good. But, to make it very different, I prefer the head sculpts that they came with the helmets. Like I said, two new looks for these amazing figures here. And I want to make them as so different as possible. Because as you know, we've gotten so many versions of He-Man and Skeletor over these past couple years for Masters, especially the new Eternia line, to make it different, make it fresh. All right, guys, I'd like to take the time now, of course, to thank my subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. All right, this has been a lot of fun going back and revisiting these amazing figures from the new Eternia line. And I think tomorrow, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Now I'm hoping to be able to do a small filming in the TRG Toys place store, retail store in my local area. I have not gotten full permission yet from the owner yet. So he's still trying to work some things out. If that doesn't happen, that's fine. Right? We can then possibly will give you. I'll probably give you my top 5, possibly my top 10 favorite new Eternia figures from MasterVerse. Like I said, this line has been an amazing line to collect, giving us collectors new, looks and of these amazing figures from Masters Universe. And I think, moving forward, I think this is going to be the dominant. It already is the dominant brand, for MasterVerse. As far as new Eternia figures, and I cannot wait to get King Randor, Roboto, another version of Beastman. That's the one that's kind of like I'm iffy about with Beastman, because I think that the first version of New Eternia Beastman is amazing. But that one, the new one coming out soon, you never know. You never know. So tomorrow, I hope you guys will join me for of hopefully going into TRG Toys to go over all his Master Universe figures that he has in store. If not, I'll give you my top 5, maybe top 10 MasterVerse New Eternia figures that I absolutely love. All right, so I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care, and have a good one, everybody.